a little bit early. A whole 6 minutes early, in fact. Hello. How is everybody doing? How's things? How's life? How's yours? How has your week been? Hello to the apparently 5 concurrent viewers who are sitting waiting. And the 3 people who've liked, especially you. How's things? How's life? How's the universe? How's your week going? Are you excited for Christmas? What's going on? Hello, John. How you doing? How's things? What is up? You excited for Christmas? Are you getting any motorcycle parts from Santa? Or I suppose gaming components, probably the more accurate to the channel question. Hello Simon, how you doing? Same old, nah, do not care. How about you? Well, I'm normally the Grinch of Christmas, but I don't know, something slightly different this year. Feeling a bit more open. Hello Essentialist if you're still here, and hello Crazy Bear if you're still here. For those of you keeping track and wondering, no, I still don't have my my wheels. Yeah. They're apparently stuck in customs. So I won't be using them this Christmas like I wanted. Luckily it's warmed back up, so you know. Hello Crazy Bear. How's things? Where they're coming from? Well, so they were shipped from Germany. However, they were sold from what is in theory a UK company. However, it is essentially a virtual company that does have an company registered in the UK that is the one you're doing business with, but basically everything that's happening is in Germany. They just ship it in. But they were the only people who I could find the wheels that I wanted from, which is the main problem. So yeah. Interestingly, they actually have 3 different websites that are all different companies, but that are and obviously offer the same sort of portfolio, but generally offer different prices, which is kind of funny. I'm waiting for some cables and keycaps from China, also stuck in customs. Yeah. When I first started shipping the OSRTT units, I shipped 2 to NADA from Tech Testers in the Netherlands, and they held that package for a month. That's why holidays are annoying. Shops closed, can't get deliveries, meh. Yeah. So what's funny is that my fridge has started failing. I've now had 2 different engineers come, and the first one turned up, went, meh, it's currently running, therefore it's fine. Except my problem was that the compressor is running 24/7. That's a problem. And it's also significantly louder now, as if perhaps there's, I don't know, added friction in the compressor, and that means that it's not compressing as efficiently, so it has to run the whole time. maybe. So yeah, he left. It took me another week to get another engineer out. This is all under warranty, by the way. Uh, and the second engineer, I'd plugged the fridge into my smart meter, or my uh, like the Samsung Smart Things plug, the one that can monitor energy usage. So I did that, kept data for it for basically the whole week. And so yeah, the engineer, turned up. I showed him that, and he went, "Oh, okay." Tried to fob me off when it was the control board. The control board doesn't make the compressor run 24/7 and not freeze all the food in the fridge. So yeah. The problem with the holidays, is why I was saying that, is that he's off all next week. So I just have to hope that the fridge lives for another week, probably 2 weeks, before he comes back. So play Marpay and buy, fair play. Mine is about a month and a half now. Usually it's 3 weeks. Don't get me wrong, worked logistics for almost a decade and they're swamped. It's the situation that's annoying. Yeah, fair. Understandable. I spent most of well, actually all of yesterday and most of today building more response time and latency tools. I don't know if I mentioned, well, I mentioned last week that the response time tools that I'd built, or RTT Pros that I'd built, the chip that goes there, that had failed, or more specifically, turns out the actual PCB itself failed. If you heat this tiny bit too much, it delaminates and then starts like shorting between it and just causing all sorts of problems. So I used like half the solder paste that you're sort of meant to here, so that I don't need to come and correct it anymore. And then all 10, as far as I'm aware that I've built yesterday, work. I need to test them all before actually putting them back for sale. But yeah. Years ago, my dad's fridge broke down and they had to take it away. Loaned him a fridge, took 5 weeks to repair. That's impressive. There isn't much in a fridge. So the thing is that fridges are remarkably simple. The one that I have doesn't have a condenser fan, and the compressor, as far as I'm aware, is not variable rate, as in it can't draw more power or less power depending on what the cooling demand is for the fridge. It just draws its pretty much fixed power usage, which is why I'm so concerned, because it went from drawing 89 watts constantly to over 100 watts constantly, and yeah, that's the problem. But yeah, I would fix it myself. The problem is I don't have the tools to capture the refrigerant that's in there and then reconnect. I don't know. They don't look, the pipes into the compressor don't look soldered. They look glued or epoxied. But yeah, low gas pressure could be fault. Rad or composure. I mean, I guess you mean compressor. Is the fridge really cold? Temp sensor fault. So the fridge isn't really cold despite the thing running, which means it's either the compressor isn't compressing effectively or there isn't enough gas in it. Either way, the fact that there's not enough gas in it and that I can hear the compressor like ticking rather than just a quiet hum, like you can hear it in the next room over, means that it needs a new compressor. The loop needs to be opened. We need to evacuate the refrigerant that's in there, and then it needs a new compressor and then a full charge of refrigerant. So that a new compressor has been ordered. But yeah, it's gonna take 10 days before he can come back and actually fix it. So I just hope that the fridge lasts that long. Hello, Harry. How you doing, man? How's things? Hello, Joe. How you doing? How are you? Hope all is well. Not too bad. I'm in Christmas week. Also, to clarify for anyone who's here's I'm not posting. I'm posting a video tomorrow, which is actually the MSI sponsored thing, and then I'm posting a video. The next one will be nothing next week besides the stream, and then the next Monday, which is the first. Yeah, don't put the heating on. I have smart heating that I set up with temperature sensors, like the one that's on the side of my desk just here. There's one in our bedroom, and then the thermostat acts as its own temperature sensor. And I have ZigBee to talk to all of them and to command the thermostat up or down position-wise. Seeing as there's no moderators here, I'll have to do the moderation. Good, thank you. Been a productive week all round, plus YouTube channel's finally taking a positive turn, getting 64 subs overnight. Awesome. Nice. AIO. You're gonna have to give me some more context on that. But yeah, nice one, Joe. All in one. Yeah, I know what all in one means. I more mean in the context of what you're referring to. Are you referring to an all in one heating system? Use an all in one on my that's where I'm lost. So yeah. Your fridge, just a joke, right? Okay, gotcha. What's funny is that it's you can feel the heat on the condenser on the back, but only the very first, like the straight pipe up for the compressor, and then the very first turn. By the time it comes back again, it's room temperature, which is bad. Is your heating zoned? Not currently. I don't have any of the smart TRVs that would shut off radiators to then do zones. It kind of is zoned in the sense that I have a day and nighttime range. So during the daytime, it only considers the temperature in here and in there, in the living room and kitchen. Whereas nighttime, it ignores what's happening downstairs and it only cares about our bedroom temperature. Although it is still heating the whole house, as it were. If it turns the heating on, it's heating the whole house. I do want to put smart TRVs in. The problem is that this house is like from the 1890s, 1900s. It's earlier than 1910, basically. And so these radiators were an afterthought, and these are the original radiators that they would have put in the 50s, 60s, maybe. And so the problem with that is that the fitting sizes have changed. So the TRVs, standard non-smart TRVs, the actual thermostatic radiator valve body, will not fit in this radiator. So I do have some adapters, but then I need to drain the whole central heating system just to replace a couple of fittings. I need to buy the actual thermostatic valves, and then I can go and buy the smart TRV bit. And it's just a lot of hassle. I'm in a rented property, and so I just yeah. I would like to, but it's not currently practical. I just need to get my hands on a 12/13th gen CPU for the new board, get some DDR5, got some DDR5 and Gen 5 NVMe's coming for it. Interesting. It's already Friday again. What? Help me. I mean, Thursday. It's a bad sign when you can't remember what day it is. I mean, I can't either, but, you know. Yeah, it's Christmas in 4 days or whatever. Yeah. With gas prices only going to go up over time, I'm thinking going all electric, smart, rad, central heating. Uh, Fair. When you say all electric, do you mean a heat pump? Because what? Ow. Well, the cost is obviously likely a bit higher than a just an electric boiler. Um, it is uh, it is considerably more efficient the vast majority of the time. Like worst case with a heat pump, it is 100% efficient, right? Because it uses the resistive heater that will be built into it to heat it up. Realistically, it's going to be 2 or 3 times more efficient than you would expect, or than the energy your electricity you're putting in. So yeah, if you were going to do that, that would be my recommendation. Also, I think there might be incentives to do it, although weirdly and kind of stupidly, I think you can get incentives if you have what you call it, if you have a outside temperature heating your inside. But if it's a reversible one, which is what makes more sense to install, really, you can't, which is really stupid. I think Lab told me that like 5 streams ago. Hello Ish, how you doing, man? How's things? Like 50% of UK power is gas, so all energy prices are pooped if gas goes up. Yeah. What's funny is that they actually so HS2 was meant to come by, literally when I say come by my house, I mean 30 meters that way, on a viaduct, no less, like the whole way. Yeah. At least that's what I heard. And the government like compulsory purchased a not an office but a warehouse type manufacturing building down there. But just the other side of the road is a brand new like containerized natural gas power plant. Basically, it's like 6 or 8 shipping containers, roughly, that have gas pipes at the top that produce energy. And the problem with that is that one, HS2 is about to bulldoze through them, and two, although I think it's that part of the route's been cancelled. But the problem for us is that they're not overly efficient, so we can smell the gas. Like anytime we leave the house, if the wind is blowing from that side of the road across, we can smell the gas constantly. It was really, really bad today. And so it sucks being right next to that. So yeah. What's the weather like up your way? My shed roof is currently singing its own version of Eminem's "Rap God with the Wind." It was doing that this morning, yeah. Although I think you're more north than me. Just. Actually, not just. You are more north than me. It's across is probably the better answer. But yeah. Gas prices are so much better than electric. So glad we got gas heating with the crazy prices. Doesn't help run all computers 24/7 though. Yeah. Wait, isn't your UK kilowatt hour price around 35 cents USD, 28 to 30p? Gas would seem cheaper. So gas is between 9 and 11 pence per kilowatt hour, whereas electricity has gone down to about 28p per kilowatt hour, but is going back up a bit in January. Because we have a regulator that is not a regulator, they're just a profit limiter. So yeah. But yes, gas is currently about a third as cheap as, or 3 times cheaper than electricity. A third the cost of electricity per kilowatt hour. But you tend to use quite a lot of gas to heat a house, especially a really inefficient like 1890s house like this. My gas is like 7p per kilowatt hour and 35p for kilowatt hour for electricity. Ouch. That is high. I mean, it's low for gas, but it's high for electricity. Hello, Bob. How you doing? I'm a coconut. Nice. If you were a 4070 Ti owner, me, would you sell it now in the hope that a 4080 Super is good, or hold out for a 5090 and a massive bump? So we can't guarantee when, or technically if, but when 4080 Super-ish cards would come out. And realistically, they're not going to launch them at a lower price than like a lower MSRP, right? So like a 4080 Super is going to cost not that much less than a 4090, which makes the 4090 some better value. But it's not going to cost the same as what a 4080 cost new, right? Therefore, pushing the price of your 4070 Ti down. I don't think that the prices will shift, even in the used market. Really, there might be an initial like the week of launch values might, or what people are willing to pay might shift a bit, but that generally settles quite quickly, and I don't see the valuation of your 4070 Ti dipping. So I would just wait until it comes out and then decide. Furthering the question, if a 5090 would be a better bet, realistically, the question about should you upgrade X, generally speaking, things like graphics cards or CPUs, is are you having a problem with it, right? Are you having to turn down settings to the point where you're not, you could be enjoying this better if you could turn that setting back up? And or are you getting unplayable or uncompetitive frame rates? If the answer is yes to any of those questions, then yeah, you should probably be thinking about upgrading if you can afford it. If you're only upgrading for the sake of upgrading, probably not worth it. That's my take. I have no clue what my rates are. It's done in block 1 and block 2. Huh? Okay, that's weird. So your block 1... Wait. Wait, you don't have also... Joe, you just posted your address in the chat. You might want to crop that image to the top line. So yeah, it's 55p for the first 2 kilowatt hours. So you pay, assuming you use 2 kilowatt hours a day, which you will, you pay £1.10. And then anything after that is at 20 whatever p. So I think what that means is you don't pay a standing charge, I think is what that's a way to get around paying the standing charge, because I pay something ridiculous like 50p or something stupid every day, no matter what I use, which hurts. Whereas I think that might be a better way to do, like, essentially get the standing charge in every day, because you're gonna use that, but on the off chance that you don't, at least they're not billing you just for the sake of having access to the grid. Just for the privilege of being connected, yeah. Really frustrating. Considering you can look up what the wholesale price of electricity is. My parents are starting to look at removing the silly AGA 70 kilowatt hour per day. Doesn't fly in 20 minutes. You'll have to clarify what the AGA 60 kilowatt hour per day thing is, Wab. Have any GPUs lying around? Probably 470. I don't, certainly. Talking GPU, I've ordered a 4060 Ti to replace my 6600 XT. I'm having silly issues with AMD, so I'm jumping ship because I don't see any issues on my laptop. Nvidia, my son's having the 6600 XT. Yeah, fair. My problem is that I bought a pair of 4K LG monitors, so I'd row into them, and I guess I didn't go big enough. I'm going from the 3070 to a 4070 Ti. Ah, I see. Ah, it's that trick. Okay, yeah. I see why you might want yeah, that. I would still wait until the cards come out, right? It's going to be a better. You're going to be able to make a more informed decision when the cards are actually out. Obviously, selling it today and then just waiting means you're just going to be out of a card the whole time. Whereas at least if you do wait, you're still going to be able to play stuff with it. You just can't, perhaps game at full res or full settings. So yeah, I would say I would hold off until the cards are out, and then you can make the decision. It seems to me driver software is the push rad trace FSR, so rather the big improvement in GPU. You might have to reword that one, Crazy. I think what you're saying is that AMD pushes software features like RSR so that they don't have to improve the GPU. Is that what you're saying? My upgrades are sitting on a couch under a pile of boxes and clothes. Next gen will probably come out before I use these, so it'll be become new in box, old stock. What a life. I'm side grading really just to move from AMD. Yeah, I understand. Ironically, I'm actually thinking of going back to AMD and putting the 6900 XT that I have somewhere around here back in for more performance, but then that might sacrifice the workload, the Adobe performance potentially, so I'll have to see. I've only got a 3060 in there at the moment, mostly because I had the most VRAM while I was playing with AI stuff. Hello, Agent B. How you doing? How's things? Hello, Chris. How you doing? How's things? My power is less than a third of yours in the UK, but when a cow sneezes in a wire, the power goes out. Very dirty power. However, the income is 1/4 of yours as well. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Well, it's not fair, but yes. You said you had a load of UPSs, don't you? Which makes a lot of sense, especially if you have dirty power. We are definitely fortunate in the UK to have pretty clean power that doesn't go out very often. I do have a UPS for my main PC and my two NASs, but I don't. And technically, I have a big UPS in the shed called a solar bank. But yeah, that's only because I've had a couple of instances where power's dropped out for a couple milliseconds, just enough for them to turn off, and then cause me problems. Um, so yeah, that's more of a luxury security rather than a required, a necessity. But yeah. You look like you lost some weight in the face, buddy. No. I still weigh 115 kilograms. Um, I've been doing some more exercises to try and not be in pain as much, which is a contradictory statement, but it hasn't helped. To clarify, I have a hot water bottle on my back because I'm in too much pain to function without something to help me. But yeah, uh, I still weigh the same. How much is 115 kilograms in washing machines for our American viewers? Somewhere between 2 and 3. My washing machine has a big concrete slab on the top of it to help with stability on the drum. But yeah, actually, it might be 3. Let's go to carries. Appliances, washing machines. Not a 10 kilo one. It was a bit smaller. I think it was a kilo one. Thank you. Sure. I'll be able to tell you any second. Where's the dimensions? Oh, boxed weight of 70 kilos. I'm only 1.8 washing machines. Americans use top loaders, so they retain the water when finished. No, it still drains the same. It's just the drum spins that way instead of that way. And it's much harder to get stuff out of, because you got to like reach your entire arm into the bottom of the... It does drain better. Although technically, European ones drain the same anyway, so yeah. Yeah, top loader is kind of confusing to me too. 18 stone sounds about right, yeah. I'm 125. I'm like you, an extra wash with an extra wash load. Nice. It's sad I've got 4060, 4070, 4080 just sitting there with about 6 motherboards, 13, 14th gen, DR5 memory. Might have to build a few and give them to charity for people in need. That'd be nice. Nice indeed. It is what it is. Yep, have 2 UPSs. Could use bigger ones though. Some parts of the country have great power. It's just I'm on the tail end of the country. Fair, yeah. I mean, I'm sure like all of Wales is kind of still Stone Age, so. To be fair, a lot of Scotland is too. And Norwich. Ah, dear. I don't have any tech questions tonight. I'm just here for the heavenly voice. Oh, thank you. I didn't realize this was an ASMR stream. Hey, it's shite, but it's not Wales. Merry evening to all. Everything hurts. Ski boots suck. I haven't been skiing since the only school field trip, and that was a long time ago. Although there was an older kid who was coming down the mountain. We were all like, the whole group was stopped. The instructor was like telling us how to do stuff, and this kid just plowed into the back of me at full speed. It's a miracle that I was like 12, and so my body could take being smashed at full speed, down a ski slope, and not even be injured. I'm sure that if I did that now, I'd probably like, break backs, legs, something, and have to be airlifted away. Laden or unlading washing machines, are they migratory? For anyone who doesn't get that reference, it's Monty Python. What's the weight of an unladen swallow or something like that? It's a great bit. You should look it up. I've had power cuts this year, but it's hard to tell if it's widespread when I have two neighbors. We have our tumble dryer on top of our washing machine. Can't do that with the top loader. You certainly can. Although it's kind of posh to have a tumble dryer in the UK. A friend of mine from the States was genuinely disgusted to learn our washing machines are in the kitchen. We don't have McMansions with entire rooms just for the laundry. Like, we have no space. So yeah. I sort of regret not asking for an APC rack UPS from work, but it also needed new batteries, and that's too much cash for me. Fair. I bought one of the cheaper Eaton ones. On Tuesday, I did come off at 37 miles per hour. Felt fine after, to be honest. Was just being silly. Nice. Kitchen is weird. I keep it in the loo like most people. Whatever works, man. We, like, because of the layout of our house, it's kind of a utility room, because there's a partition wall. There's no door, and it is walk straight through, but there is a sort of partition wall. So we have the dishwasher and then the washing machine, and the fridge. But yeah, bit of a weird one. To be honest, I've never had one in the kitchen. Bit posh. When I set the kitchen, I can touch both walls with either hand. I keep my Murican washer in the cat's loo. Blue's most common place for most, at least 6 to 7 neighboring countries, unless you have a boiler room. Brackets big place. Yeah, I in the UK, I could not imagine having a washing machine in the bathroom. Also, to clarify, it isn't entirely common to have downstairs bathrooms in the UK. Like, they do exist, and it depends on your house structure or layouts, but a lot of, especially smaller houses, kind of like this, don't have downstairs loos. And there isn't any space in the bathroom for a washing machine either. In fact, there isn't really much space in many bathrooms in the UK for a washing machine either. Not keen on the electrical connection, but if wired into the wall, then bathroom's fine. Well, in the UK, in electronics, in electrics, we have zones in the bathroom. So there's like zone 1, which is directly over or in around like the bath and whatnot, and then you have zone 2, which is still in the room but within 2.5 meters, and then you have zone 3, which is 2.5 meters away from the bath or shower. So you have to have properly insulated, isolated, and grounded equipment in zone 1 or 2. Yeah. Invasion, great to see you. Love you, my boy. Keep up the great content. Thank you very much. Good to see you in the chat. Bob, sorry for asking. When displays have gamut enhancing phosphors on the backlight, how does the sRGB clamp work in the technical analog sense? Is it the LCD layer taking care of it? My understanding, and while I do probably know more about displays than certainly the average person, probably the majority of like tech reviewers as a conglomerate. I'm also not an expert, so pinch of salt. My understanding is that the sRGB clamping modes that monitors provide is essentially a profile baked into the scaler, the processor on board, that just limits what color range the actual liquid crystal layer will show. It is something that should be calibrated to that display. So if it does have quantum dot, whatever, or something else in that vein, it should be a profile that is baked into the firmware for that monitor, that takes into account what the actual color output is at full range versus what it would be in that sRGB clamped mode. Although I'm not one for using sRGB clamped modes personally. I would rather have full gamut instead. Yeah. In my house, the shower is just in my bedroom, not in its own room, just in the middle of a wall in my room. Interesting. That's new. It's normally at least in its own little cubby, you know? Ensuite. This was the first house I've had with a downstairs bathroom. We chose it because it's for Carrie getting in and out. All others were upstairs. Yeah, so that's the same as here. I would love a downstairs loop, loop for the disability. But yeah, that, funds is the problem. My old work only had an outdoor loo. Toilet spider ruled it. Yeesh. The water heater tends to be electric in the loo as well. So as we were saying earlier, pretty much everything in the UK is gas for water heating. You might have a water tank, which hot water tank, which is often in what we call the airing cupboard. So it's normally, because the houses are so small, we normally have, generally speaking, curved stairs, and so there's normally a bit of the stairs that's directly above where you start walking up, and so that's normally the airing cupboard. And there's often the insulated hot water tank in there, which will often have an immersion element in it, but it's normally the boiler that will, like gas boiler that will heat up the water, store it in there, and then whatever. But yeah, as WAP has just said, and I was about to, we generally use combi boilers now, which is full flow, on-demand heat for water, rather than store it and then use it later. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have the courage to build my own PC. I'm glad to have imparted at least some confidence, if not hopefully some knowledge. Yeah, always happy to answer questions. My house growing up had a delightful outside toilet room. It was dreadfully cold and ended up being used as a mower store. Nice. A couple of big cities have proper gas mains and they use gas water heaters that are in the cupboard in the hallway. Fair. Banana, I'm back. I didn't realize you were here. Unpopular opinion, I miss the coal fire. We have a fire pit outside and it's kind of nice. Will you have any Meteor Lake laptops coming your way? At the moment, I don't. However, I would definitely like to, and at some point I will. And yeah. The Meteor Lake desktop chips won't be here until probably November again. But the laptop stuff, the whole Core Ultra stuff, is, I think, technically launched, maybe? Obviously, there's an announcement. I can't remember if there's actual laptops available yet. Yeah. I'll do my best to get my hands on them. XMG would probably be the first to send me one, if I'm honest. Maybe Asus. Yeah. No worries, Bob. Happy to try and answer questions, even if I don't always fully know the answers. I was the guy with the 5700 XT. Ah, I see. I mistook the I'm back with from any stream. It's at the Wheelception. Anything? Anybody getting anything good for Christmas? Doing anything special? Treating themselves to any new hardware? Well, the wheels that I bought haven't arrived. As I was saying at the start of the stream, they're apparently stuck in customs, so I don't get to use them for Christmas, which is infuriating because I bought them at the start of the month, and then it took them a full week to ship them, and it's now going to take like another month for them to actually arrive. Yes, I was talking about it last week. I bought some new wheels for my car, specifically to put winter tires on, because the summer tires that I have, one, are kind of in need of replacement. What are now the back two will need to be replaced before the new for the MOT in July, and so I thought if I'm gonna get I've wanted a set of winter wheels and tires for ages, and because it got really cold earlier in the month, I thought I'll finally, pull the trigger. I'll get some ones that I quite like, get some basically of the best winter tires, and then I can have those for driving down and whatnot. Yeah, no. Luckily, it has warmed up, so there's no real worries about, safety or anything. It's just quite annoying, but well. Once they are actually here, they'll last for a fair while. 2 sets of wheels, Mr. Moneybags. I was very particular about not, I'm not buying BBS rims. So yeah, I think it was like £1,300 in total, which is obviously a lot of money, but I justified it by saying that it's a long-term investment because one, I'm going to have the wheels for as long as I have this car and possibly longer, and two, the tires themselves, while they are consumable items, I'm only going to be using them for about half the year, give or take. And so I essentially get to wear down two sets of tires rather than just one. So I extend the lifespan of both essentially, and then also there's the like straight safety factor, especially into January and February, where I'm kind of expecting it to get a fair bit cooler. We're gonna see proper winter temperatures and things like snow again. Having the winter tires on is gonna get good to have the winter tires, rather than the summer tires that do not grip anything unless it's like 30-degree track temperature. I have taken it to the track and I will do again. At some point. Just say it's a Christmas gift for one of my personalities. That's how you get more gifts. Well, my birthday is in basically the start of January, and so what that means is that I get one gift. I get a Christmas and birthday gift, and somehow it's not quite as good as having two. Yeah. It's been really odd being abroad for winter where it's properly cold. Roads and bus stops will be ice in places. They just sprinkle gravel on top. Winter tires are also a legal requirement. Yeah, it's kind of funny that we're a fair bit higher latitude. I get the two mixed up. I get left and right mixed up, man. I'm statistic. We're the same sort of latitude as like Seattle and Vancouver, right? And yet they get much worse temperatures and weather than we do, and even down in Germany it was like -5 and snowing a week or two ago or something. So yeah. I think it's latitude and longitude. But what do I know? That's better than the 19th of December for my birthday. Here's your birthday present. Damn. Birthday Christmas present. Damn, that sucks as a kid. Yeah. Yeah. Same latitude but jet stream. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. And yeah, Simon, first of all, happy birthday for 2 days ago. And second of all, yes, yeah, I bet it does. Mine's the 10th, so it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks apart. Ouch-ish, that's yeesh. Is that reasoning the same as half a cake is half the calories, you can have twice as much, as in tire wear spread over twice as long, but you bought another set for the other? Partially yes, partially no, because the tire wear depends. The tires wear depending on the condition. So if if a winter tire is driving on cold and wet, it shouldn't disintegrate as fast as if it's on a hot day. Whereas on a hot day, the summer tires aren't going to degrade as fast as they do if they're skidding all around the fucking place. So yeah. Ow. Yeah, I'm starved, Jen. Yeah. You know the pain. Not far from 100k subs. According to Discord, it's 95k. 98.5k rather. I'm assuming YouTube says the same. Yeah. Does the YouTube Studio say a more accurate number? 98,569. Nice. 349 per month ish. Well, 349 in the last 28 days, so 360 or so per month. So in another several months, I'll be there. Like 4 months, fuck. Is it because we're a small island that we get milder winters in the USA? No, as Wapted said, we have the jet stream that pushes the warm air from the Gulf of Mexico along and up onto us. So we generally get much nicer temperatures. If the jet stream were to disappear, which is a possibility, then we get very, very cold winters, like Norway, Finland, kind of like we're in the same latitude as them. The only reason we have even remotely nice temperatures is because of the jet stream. So, yeah. I'd love to keep the jet stream. We have global control over it. We're not really doing the right thing though. Sad thing is that I bought the graphics card now. Now I need a large power supply because the 6600 is turning off. What power supply do you have now? Because that's quite surprising to hear. Nah, so the jet stream just turned Dartmoor into a ski resort. A 550. That should be fine for a 6600. Maybe it's the whole current spike on initial load up or whatever, but yeah. Skiing used to be thing in the UK, or at least in Scotland. Not anymore. A few benefits of global warming, but that sure is one. Whatever do you mean? The human race is the epitome of economical goodness for the planet Earth. We have done nothing but improve it. Thanks. Screen on the ship in Wall-E. But I have a lot of RGB. Fair. I mean, RGB isn't that power intensive in the grand scheme of things. I don't think. Well, LEDs are pretty efficient, and I'm pretty sure that they're only, you know, a few, like, 50 milliwatt, maybe 200 milliwatt LEDs, but you'd have to have a lot of them for that to make any sort of manageable difference. Wendy predicts AI will cause a Terminator-style Judgment Day. Well, if we ever do get artificial general intelligence, then perhaps then. But yeah, otherwise, you know, ChatGPT ain't starting a revolution anytime soon. Scotland still has decent skiing, to be fair. Just only a few years/days you get snow. That's what I mean. The impression I got from my parents is that it was a much more common thing that you would do kind of like every winter kind of thing, especially if you lived further north. But yeah, not anymore. No worries, Simon. Enjoy. Uh, have a great Christmas and all that. Yeah. Never. I'll just go to my local wind turbine and switch it off. The AI won't run without power. I mean, that is correct. I don't know how you plan on switching your local wind turbine off. Although actually, what's funny is that I've been kind of considering building a wind turbine in my garden to complement the solar, because obviously the problem is, especially in winter, there's no sun. So it's not very effective. So it'd be great if you could have wind to be able to, constantly be topping it up, basically. But yeah. I'm not entirely sure, especially because it's rented, and so there's already a bit of a concern with just the idea of shoving power into into the house with what is honestly a somewhat bodged solution. But yeah. Just write 5G unspecified infection of uncertain origin tower. I'd like a home wind turbine, probably a better investment than solar. It's probably not a bad investment, especially where you are, big open field or whatever. You can stick it up real high. But if it's where I am, the height is the main problem with it. So yeah. In fact, a wind turbine was damaged after it collapsed today on the beaches near us. Ironically, the wind did it. So wind turbines have a speed limitation. They're only rated for a certain RPM. After that RPM is hit the limit, there's friction brakes inside that slow the thing down, and or outright lock it off from spinning. So yeah, I'm generally thinking about a vertical wind turbine rather than a rotating blade assembly. I think that the vertical ones look a bit better and are a bit more suited to your local home, as it were. But I do kind of want to. Yes, pitched blades as well. Angle of attack is the word there. I do kind of want to build my own one because I'm a nerd, and two because the ones that exist are ridiculously expensive, which I'm sure is because of lots of research and development and whatnot. But I don't know. I want to try. Uh, You would have been rich for the win today. I thought about it during the last high winds thing too. I don't get the objection to winds. Neither do I. No worries, Simon S3. I hope you have a great Christmas. Stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you next week. Yeah, I don't really get that objection either. But then again, I have empathy. On a local level, devalues properties with turbines. Noise really sucks when the bearings get noisy. I take it you mean properties like that have installed a wind turbine themselves, as it were, rather than properties near a wind turbine, like a grid scale one. Apparently, the wind turbines are really noisy. We have loads nearby, but they're not near houses. I mean, This is properties within a 1 kilometer radius of the turbine installed. Interesting. I mean, generally speaking, the wind turbines, no worries, see you, Chris, don't, they don't install them anywhere near properties. It's, you know, on the rolling hills over there, you know, kind of thing. But yeah. Fair. You would think so, ish, yeah. You would think so. Um, yeah. Seeing as I'm in a reasonable amount of pain and it is basically our usual time, I think I'm gonna call it there. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas. All the whole stay safe and have fun stuff. Like I said, I've got a video tomorrow, the MSI sponsor one actually, and then we're not posting on Monday or Friday, and then the next main video will be the following Monday, so the first. Although I should mention that I will be streaming next week, next Thursday, so feel free to, you know, pop back. Oh, Banana. Off the top of my head, I want to say that the 5700 XT might be slightly faster. If you said 6600 XT, that's probably better. Although, since you already have the 6600s, that is probably best to keep it. And support, you're going to get longer support life, possibly more features, although I can't remember. So, yeah, I would probably stick with what you have, unless the 5700 XT is a fantastic deal. And also just double check benchmarks to see how they actually compare. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next week. I hope you have a great Christmas. And yeah, see you then.